Welcome to episode 3 of the GC Uncensored podcast. Mark Ludwig, Tommy Rink, Richie Hartman, Nick Skias, Toby Blumenshine here. Thanks for watching our first 2 episodes on YouTube.
First two ever?
First two ever. This is the third ever. We got to the third, so let's keep this train rolling. Today we're going to talk a little bit about what we're doing in 2025. Mark, why don't you start? You might be the easiest.
I don't know how I would take that.
Just at this point, I'm going to be focusing a little bit on my kids' sports. This has gone up in the springtime. I'm going to be doing some golf, a little bit more golfing, and then I'll be at the racetrack helping out whoever needs help. I'm not sure. We haven't really talked, Nick and I and Meg, and what the plans are for the 88M, so I'm sure that's up in the air. But, yeah, that's kind of my plans for 2025.
Oh, I got a lot of plans for 2025.
Yeah, you got a lot of something.
Got a lot of something going on. 270, I'll be running weekly at Lanco. I'll be doing the time trial shows at Linda's. Trying to get better for October so I can suck less. Seems easier said than done.
Yeah. Some of us have the speed secrets, but they don't give them to all of us.
Yeah. I think, yeah.
How do you feel about that, Toby?
Oh, it's rough. Then I decided to take the plunge and buy a 600. So, got that going. So, we'll be running the 600 winged at some select shows. And then I got some wingless stuff going on with somebody else. So
a terrible idea to have a 600.
Yeah, I know. But we're gonna try and see what we can do with that.
So, you're doing Lanco with the wing on?
Lanco with the wing on. Probably, maybe some Linda shows. Mainly wing on for me.
That's a bitch move, but
well,
okay.
You know, you may see that change because I heard the price of aluminum is doubling.
Jesus
So
Christ,
first
yeah.
rec wing, we might just be wingless the rest of the year. So just rec wing and not be able to afford one. But I'll do a little bit of both. Get my feet wet in the 600, see what we can do. I don't know. Try something new.
Nicholas?
Right now, Friday nights, I worked out a deal again with Charlie Palamucci to run the 16P Bridgeport for most Friday nights with him. There's a select few shows that I possibly may be missing.
That sounds sketchy.
As far as now, I am also in the Viper House Car 3 at Lanco. Being the Schaefer team is retiring from the racing, and ended up picking up the house ride with Chuck Skias in the 3 car for Saturday nights.
Never seen that coming.
Poor Josh.
He's not out yet.
What kind of car does
Oh yeah.
your Friday night ride? Is that back to a Viper, or is that
No,
an RTS?
he purchased an RTS last year, and I ran it for 2 weekends.
I don't know, pal, but where I come from, you can't run the house car. And a brand and another. That's just the 25 years of what I know.
I mean,
in the building I worked in.
I don't know that he is overly fond of it if I'm going to be in the house car, but it was the deal I had locked down first. So
Josh might not be out quite yet. I got it.
Looking
Duly noted.
I'm a man of my word, so when I say yes to something, I hold true to it. So I had to tell Chuck that it was something I had already said yes to and committed to, and I didn't want to renege. And if he wanted me to run Saturday nights, it was something he was gonna kind of have to overlook a little bit here.
Well, at least the Chucks, you won't get confused. You got 2 Chucks.
I think car tonight. Chuck's car tonight. Who's Chuck?
So I was gonna ask something. I don't even know what it was about the Chucks.
I think ultimately Nick couldn't get away from racing Alex Swift. That's why he wanted to go back to
Listen,
Bridgeport again.
I love Linda's. I would pick Linda's over anything, but
Never opportunity.
the only thing that trumps that is relationships, and I built relationships with these guys, and I just really enjoy being around all these people that you connect with, and that's just something special.
I mean, you guys were when you guys were good, you were really good. So,
yeah.
just
I I
There
don't
was
ultimately
times
know
that it
how
wasn't.
what happened or why and where we fell off at. But running his car last year, those 2 events we did pick off 2 wins.
Yeah.
And it seemed like
Yeah,
he
it seemed like you were
definitely had
back.
some speed back in the thing. And
Yeah.
Speed Week night, right?
I don't remember.
Friday night you won Speed Week night.
I
Or
know
Sunday night or whatever.
it may have been that. I know it was a Sunday show at Bridgeport.
Yeah. Would have
I
had to
was
been,
there, and I don't even remember you being there.
that would have had to been that. I don't think they had any other Sunday
it?
shows for 270. Yeah,
Yeah.
they got rid of that Sunday poker stuff.
Well, in the skyscraper, thankfully.
Oh yeah, whatever that is now.
So that's your no 600 stuff.
I will be in the 20S. We haven't really talked about the upcoming season, but the conversations we had leading up to Tulsa seems like I'll be in the 20S for some select shows too. We haven't really talked about this season, but it sounds like I will be fielding that car with Greg Stevens periodically.
Good. Toby?
My situation's a little different this year, so I am not fielding a car currently, but I will be driving for Jake Dupler. I drove for him a little bit last year. We like to tinker and just go out and have fun. So it's gonna, from my understanding, right now we're both on the true outlaw schedule. Just go wherever, whenever, and race and have fun. So, yeah. So I'm looking forward to that, and possibly taking some weeks off to work on the house, go to kids sports, all the stuff that we kind of neglect by racing. Takes up a lot of your time.
Do you have a Saturday? Do you have Saturdays that you got to be at Lanco? Like, do you have a position at Lanco that you got to be there now that you're not president?
I do not.
Can we tell everyone what you are doing at Lanco right now, or you don't want
sure,
anybody
yeah.
to know about your?
Yeah, so I took
parking
over
master.
I am the parking asshole.
If you have problems,
Yeah.
that's your guy. Email
So-
him directly.
You gonna paint lines?
So yeah.
Heard a
Straight.
lot of
That's
things about
happening.
lines.
Straight,
Yeah.
straight this time.
They hired a company to come in and do it. They're doing it early March, I believe. So
You got a line.
hopefully
company? In the
Well,
grass?
because it is a
It needs it.
pain in the ass
Yeah.
to do it. We
Interesting.
tried it last year, and you can ask Logaman or
Well, the
Rutherford
first
or
5
whatever.
lines
and
were always painted,
it
and then that was
was
it.
terrible.
That was
So
it.
yeah, I took over the parking at Lanco. So now you know who to beat
All
up.
complaints. This guy's in my parking
we had
spot.
all the emails going to a lancoparking@gmail.com. So probably most of you didn't know who was taking care of it, and it is me.
Straight lines were never a priority down there.
Have you checked that inbox, or do you just have it going there?
Other
and just
other than
start looking at it?
I mean, honestly, I'm taking care of the admin side of parking. I'm not dealing with the when you're at the gate and you need a parking spot. I'm trying to take care of all that prior to people getting
if
there.
you're not going to be there, there will be someone else to yell at.
Yep, that's right.
So
that's
are
how
you-
I prefer it.
Back to your racing situation. Did you kick Brent out of his ride? Did you take Shearer's ride, or are you teammates?
No.
Bummer.
No, Brent. I actually don't believe Brent ever drove that car at Lanco. He drove that car
Just
at
at Linda's.
Linda's, and that's kind of how the owner wanted it. Brent,
I mean, you guys
Brent has
that
a
car is fast.
little bit of a reputation, and
I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't say it. You said it.
he has a little bit of a reputation at Lanco, and I
So you're
think,
trying to clean that up for
think
Jake.
no. I just feel like honestly, like, look, everybody had a problem with Brent early on. I do not have a problem with him now. I think he's way better than what he used to be, and I think he'll be the first to tell you he's matured a little bit.
Ask Connor Gross.
Well, beauty is
yeah.
That's all I know.
But yeah, that's up for debate. But
Your eyes
from my
work?
perspective, he's a
That's
lot
the
better
preface.
than what he was.
You're not the president anymore,
back then.
remember? Right?
Oh yeah, you don't have to.
no,
Clarify that.
but
Yeah. Okay. That'll be interesting.
You
That's
feel
a fast car.
heartbroken now, Rich. You have to.
What?
I don't know. You just.
Were you
No,
hoping?
it's not the
answer
Were you
you wanted
hoping
to
for
hear.
something
No,
more?
no. That's a fast car. If you perform as well as Logan does, throwing bags, you'll be perfectly fine. That kid's a beast.
Logan
beast.
is awesome.
He
Yeah,
is the
he
best
is.
cornhole
Yep,
player.
cornhole.
I was his
currently
partner
know.
one time and terribly left him down. And
So did Megan
I mean,
Labor Day weekend.
now I played with him at Johnny and Hans one night, and
Cornhole.
yeah,
Did you even
cornhole.
play, or did he just do it all?
He did, but
He travels around the country
Yeah,
and
he's-
plays all these
yeah,
tournaments.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure he's ranked.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's
So he's
pro.
I think he went pro, right? Or
Yeah. Yeah, he's able to do juniors and regulars and
Yep.
stuff. So
Very
yeah, he's
talented.
really good. He's making he's doing a lot in taxes. I know that.
He's gonna be
He's making a lot of money.
he's gonna be the partner that everybody wants when he goes
Yeah,
to
that's
college.
the main sponsor on Toby's car.
How about you?
Well, glad you asked. Not really. So I'll be back in Dennis and Dawn McKeon's 747. It's probably just going to be a hit and miss deal. They would like to run Lanco more than not, which we will probably be there fairly often. I know there's a few dates that kind of interfere because I do run a 600 for Mark Gray. So there's some Saturdays, the alien race and some other stuff that I probably need to be going to with the 600 that we won't be able to necessarily be there every Saturday at Lanco, but we did hassle Toby for a parking spot, so we have a parking spot. There'll be members again, and we will do some stuff at Linda's. I don't know how often it will be.
Did you get a parking spot at Linda's?
Just gonna ask that. Do you have a parking spot at Linda's? I was thinking the same damn thing.
Dennis has a parking spot. Mark Gray also has a parking spot by no choice of mine, but the people that know Mark is not a spring chicken, so we elected to keep our front row parking spot even though it was drastically overcharged, and that's about as far as I'll go with that. Somehow, I don't know how this works because I know it's in the rules, but Nick and Tommy are splitting a parking spot somehow. I don't know how that's supposed to work. I think that's definitely in the rules that you can't do that.
It is one team.
But
I don't know what
all
you're
I
talking
know is
about.
I
It
can't
is
give my parking spot away to somebody else, even though I only have 10 races to use it. But
skis
that's
and rink racing. It's
that's
at Linda's. It's
that's
a-
besides. That
same-
doesn't seem to be in the. Did you sign the paper? Did you both sign it?
yeah, we
I
signed it.
Oh,
We
that's-
both held the pen.
Mike
at the
Fry.
same
That
time.
seems pretty shady, don't you think?
Hey, we both held the pen at the same
Yeah.
time.
Andy, we just sparked a bad conversation.
I'm thrilled to death that you asked that question, Mark. Totally thrilled. But yes, we do have a parking spot front row because that's the only place to be for the rocks to go through your window.
I'm gonna be out. in
Hey,
the
I just
stadium.
saw a new tractor being dropped off there.
$50 extra than last year to park in the
still
front
rocks
row.
in
I have a lot of questions about Linda's right now, but it seems as though Giesemann is highly involved again. They even have a booth at Motorama, which
Yeah, cool.
whatever.
Maybe it's a good thing.
It is what it is. I don't know. There's a lot of work to be done to get back to where it needs to be.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it does not matter how that happens or how fast that happens. The cars don't just come back overnight.
No.
You can do the dumbest shit at your track and lose cars immediately, but you need months or years of good to bring cars back.
Yeah.
Which is honest.
Because
Yeah.
once you do something stupid, and I talk to Toby, and I talk to Mark, and we talk to other people, and say that about the rocks and the bullshit calls, and this isn't just Linda's, this is everywhere.
Yeah.
Jump starts at Lanco, whatever you want to call.
Lack of jump
You
starts
lose
at
people.
Bridgeport.
Like it is what it is. It takes a lot of goodwill to get people back. So that's my thanks for that rant, Mark.
No, thank you.
But yeah, so and I think we actually will probably hit Shelley's a little bit more often. A lot's going to depend on Colton's baseball schedule, Madison softball, Weston's playing soccer also. So a lot of what we do racing wise, we didn't run nearly as much last year, and I know for a fact it hurt us with the 600. just took us a long time to figure some stuff out. Finally did it at the very end of the year, which made us some money, but we could have been a lot better earlier. So hopefully to run a little bit more and get locked in a little bit sooner with that car.
Any big shows you guys are planning on doing?
Like I said, I think the Alien thing we'll probably do, even though it's it's an outlaw race. Definitely go back to Lime Rock for sure. Probably with both. Meg and Nick, we have to kind of figure out, play it by ear, what we're going to do with that car as far as the Sportsman goes, and maybe some other stuff. But I would definitely like to go back to Lime Rock. I mean, I 100% will be with the 600. 270 would just be kind of whether Dennis or Nick and Meg want to go. Because I did the track. I do really like the track, the way it races.
Yeah.
And they did do a lot of work. I mean, they have a lot of formatting, time structuring to figure out. But other than that, like, it was a pretty cool deal. It's another one of the places where if it was 3 hours closer, there'd be a lot of cars.
Yeah.
It's kind of a Path Valley situation. Not everybody wants to do that trip, and it kind of hurts you. And there's tracks that are close to us that we don't want to go to, but we do because they're close, and we're overheating again. But yeah, I mean, so that'll be our plans, for that situation. But we also are going to talk a little bit about Nick. Nick and Meg are doing some stuff for Pete as far as running races, which have already been announced for Memorial Day weekend at Linda's and Lanco. So I'm going to let Nick talk a little bit about what they got going on with that. And, if you have a 270, you're an asshole if you don't show up. Honestly, that's just the way it is. Pete raced forever in a 270, majority, He does have a 600 National Open, right?
He does.
With Warco.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Pete's... Let me put it to you this way. If you think that I'm old and Nick's old and we're all old, well, that's what I thought about Pete when I first started when I was 15. Pete was that old, cranky guy that you didn't then, like... Me and Pete had a weird relationship. I feel like I'm in the same situation that Pete was at times. Like, you see some of these kids come in and you feel like they don't necessarily have any respect or any of that bullshit. And also, maybe in my younger years, my situation was a little bit differently because I didn't... Racing with my dad was you're at your trailer most of the time, not really associating with many people. I didn't have a whole lot of friends. So that also makes you look like an asshole. That you're arrogant or whatever. And I'm not really. I'm not cocky. I don't talk shit to anybody but maybe us a little bit. Other than that, like, I'm going everywhere to think I'm not qualified. Go fuck yourself.
Who's talking?
What?
That's false. That's false.
Okay.
Anyway, so when you don't talk to a lot of people, it kind of comes across a certain way, but like more or less, like, and me and Nick didn't have a great relationship for a long time, more so because of probably our fathers just being as competitive as they were. Like, if me and my dad went racing, if I didn't win, sorry, Dad, but things weren't happy. There was a quiet car ride home. Like, it was what it was. So there was a lot of pressure on that aspect, and you didn't go out of your way to.
Back
Back
then,
I was
too,
15,
the chassis
16,
builders were
like,
a little bit
like
this more than they are today.
There was way more of a we hate everybody in the other car type situation, certainly not drive any other cars.
Or two different
But yeah, at the same time.
chassis manufacturers.
But yeah, I mean,
Three. I love the hype too.
probably,
Jeez.
honestly, I don't even remember how, but probably between Meg and Brienne is probably more or less why me and Nick have gotten as close as we have, in spite of, the Richie hatred in the Skias house for a long time, and me hating Nick and Pete and all that stuff. But, we really, like, I had a very good relationship with Pete the last couple years, and Chuck, really good actually. So, like I said, Pete's been running a 270 since I started in 1998. He was probably running fucking in the 80s. So, like,
Long time.
every person that's still racing a 270 knows who the hell Pete is.
Were you born in
I couldn't even get in the
1998?
pits. I
And-
wasn't even allowed in the pits.
And you're, like, for what they're paying, you are taking the days off, and it's a holiday weekend. You should be
Heck
at
yeah.
Linda's and Lanco. So, after all that long-winded bullshit, Nick,
Thank God.
shut the fuck up.
Nick, how about some-
Nick, tell us about
Some info.
kind of like what you had to go through. I think Lanka was probably the easiest planning or getting them to want
Yeah,
to
I'd
do
say
it.
Lanka was very easy with putting something together. Both tracks were very welcoming for sure. Linda's has been in my household and very important in my household for a long time. It's a place my dad has always loved. When I started racing, I hated Linda's because it was just somewhere that was really hard to succeed. And you go there and you struggle, you go there and you struggle, and it took forever to try to figure the place out. And I quit before I got good early in my career, and I'm like, I ain't doing that.
If only you
And
had stayed quit.
and he forced me to go back, and he's like, you gotta be good at Linda's to be good anywhere. And he kind of forced me
I had a
to
couple championships
to-
if you had quit, you motherfucker.
yeah, maybe.
Thanks a lot, Pete.
But I stuck my time in and got better and better, and then afterwards realized, his statements were definitely true. And now I think both tracks now, Linda's and Lanco, comparing each other, they race very different from one another, and it's really hard. I think the competition at Lanco makes you better now today.
Mm-hmm.
I think the competition at Linda's was more stiff when I got into it, and it made it that much more tough to succeed there, where I think Lanco has a lot more of that talent today that used to be at Lanco in the past with retired drivers and everything else in the time lapse and just where everybody picked a race weekly. But Linda's definitely helped my career grow for sure. So it always holds a special place in my heart and in our family. So we obviously had to make sure Linda's and Lanco's been in our family for a long time too. So we had to make sure that those two were my specific places that I wanted to hold. We had a whole bunch of ideas. I even thought about a speed week leading up to these two races, but I felt like it was going to be too much to try to put together in the first year, and I kind of wanted the focus to be on the two main places. I didn't want to take anything away from the end result, and so we just kind of finalized and made a decision at Linda's and Lanco were the two right places to hold this race for him, and so putting this together. Both places were really easy to talk to, welcoming with any format that we kind of wanted to present. I didn't finalize anything with Linda's technically. And we have the go-ahead. I still do gotta to meet with them yet and finalize all the little details because we have a lot of big plans that we hope to uphold and move forward with. Still searching for some extra sponsors and help through the race, but we have a final payout that we are believed to be happy with $3,000 to win. And we didn't want to make it too top heavy, so we wanted to. It is top heavy.
No, we
but,
just had this
Oh,
conversation
it's just-
about another race. That's
I know.
That's what I was referring to.
But I didn't want the drop off to be huge. I mean, it has to be something in any type of racing. It's hard to raise
It should be
that
50%,
kind of money.
not
Well,
95%.
I'm over
think it's
50,
less than
so I plan to what the pay structure looks like right now is $3,000 to win, $2,000 for second, $1,000 for third, and small drop offs from there moving forward. We'll post the whole payout soon. It's
have
looking like $150 to take the green.
Wow. That's
So my whole goal in this is still to take care of everybody that shows up the best we can.
Yeah.
There still can be only one winner, and I know money brings everybody there, and
There's more guys fighting for 24th than there are to win.
Yep, you need everybody at a racetrack, and I've always hated the 10,000 to win and 400 for second.
Or 15,000
Or 15,000
to
to
win,
win.
and 300
Well-
for second. Not any specific race.
I hate the huge drop offs. You know, it just makes. Luckily, in a lot of these races, most people have been pretty respectful, but it really makes that second place guy consider dumping that leader for that kind of money, and that's just not where I want anything to be.
Yeah, for sure.
So, you know, with the payout that we're looking to have there, I'm happy with. Race format, we kind of wanted it to be like you earn what you get throughout. So it's going to be very similar to Linda's National Open format. I know it's similar to their time trial shows that they have too. Most of everything's going to be heads up. Time trials, heads up into heat races, heads up into C main, D main, B mains, and whatever it would entail. The only thing that we've been kind of conversing about, which I originally wanted to do cash dash, and I'm leaning away from it some, just because I feel like the drivers don't race hard in a cash dash. Nobody wants to be in the top 8, race hard, and wreck in a dash. And it's kind of like if you start up front, you'll finish there. If you start in the back, maybe you pick off a spot or two, but you're not going to race real hard for it, just because of the risk and minimal reward that you get out of it. You still got, a 25, 30, 40 lap feature. We haven't figured out the length of the race yet. But I'm more leaning towards maybe like another time trial session. And I know that's not ultimately best for fans sometimes, but I feel like if you're in the 8th heat race, you still have kind of an opportunity to gain the pole again, for the main event. If you start 8th in a dash, you're going to pick off a spot or two. And I kind of want to make it that every heat race winner doesn't have a disadvantage again, and you have to re-earn the top spot, and kind of make all heat race winners run another time trial session with those 8 cars, and quick time starts on the pole, and so on and so forth, and you earn that again.
If you did it as a group, it's 3 laps. It's no more. It's 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the time
It's not a
is...
single car. If you don't do it as a single car of 8 cars doing it, and just do a group, almost like the A main hot laps at the National Open, you do 8 cars, time it, on, off. That's your line.
Or half, 4 and 4, or whatever. Like I hate when there's a lot of cars on the track. They are all going to be fast, so you probably won't catch the guys.
There's not going to be
something like the
scrubber.
Race of Champions for the
But
shootout. They have 2 cars.
I
and
can
think
tell
it's
you when
quickest
Bridgeport
Yeah.
puts 8 cars out for their skyscraper, it pisses me off.
Or
so
10, or,
time.
yeah, 10, 12, whatever.
Every time trial was 4, and then the last one was 8, but that never happens.
I know they're trying to push programs through and whatnot, and lengthy is bad for fans. But when there's a lot of money at stake, there's a lot of money that goes into these teams too to run these events.
Yeah.
And the last thing you want to do is have something silly affect one of these teams unfairly.
You could actually still do a cash dash, but you just do it differently. You could, because you're right. Like, we don't have a lot of cash dashes in our stuff anymore. And it is difficult to make any moves depending on how you do it. You'd almost have to redraw it or something to shake it up a little bit. But if you do your time trial thing, and then you take 25 to, like, I don't know, you 8 cars, 10 cars, whatever you want to do, first non-qualifier to the next 9 or 10, whatever, and do your cash dash that way, then you would at least be spreading the money. Like, you'd have your money for your cash dash, and you'd spread it through those guys that aren't gonna get the green money or anything like that. So you could still technically have your cash dash. It wouldn't affect the rate. Like, you'd actually have a race.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could just have those guys redraw, and if they want to go out, they go out. It's another chance for them to get $100 or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, They're not qualifying.
So like a non-qualifiers race.
Essentially, yeah, but you could that could be your cash dash.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you're setting it up. You know, you get a sponsor for it and you do that, and then it doesn't have to be for the effect of, you know, the fast cars being not passing anybody, especially at Linda. Like, Linda is a cash dash. I mean, we did it. I don't know where you started for my last race, but it was probably on the pole or second. You know, you're not passing. You're not
fourth.
I don't believe that at all. There's just not a lot of passing involved in a couple of laps of a. So, I mean, that's one way you could kind of. I, as a bad time trialer at Linda's, because I'm slow at Linda's, hate the heads up the whole way through. That's why I don't like the National Open right now, because like we're just slow. I like it at Lanco. Like, that's cool because we're fast there or have speed. But yeah, I mean, it's a tune-up. Like, it gets you ready for the National Open and that sort of stuff. Like,
and it's going to pay very similar. So
it's great.
You know, for what the National Open brings, and you know, at the same track and a very similar format and whatnot, I feel like you'd be foolish not to come. Not only for the money, but for the support of who Pete was. You know, he done a lot for the racing community and been in it for a very long time and helped a lot of people. He probably pissed off a lot of people too through the years. But
everybody does that.
Everybody does that.
Even the golden Nick Skias has pissed people off.
Yeah, that's true.
You're the only reason we have you on here is because so many people like you. That's really the only reason. But anyway,
I mean, look at it.
Hoping to gain some followers.
just trying to get all Viper Gang to follow.
The opportunity for someone to take home $6,000 in 2 days for 270 racing.
Heck yeah.
There hasn't been anything like that other than
Not
going to
recently.
the skyscraper and then going to Linda's Nationals.
Yeah, with the end of the year stuff being close together or whatever.
Yeah.
This is early in the year. Someone can capitalize right out of the gate.
Yeah.
You know, holiday weekends are always tough to do something with, because I know people like to go on vacation, but
Where the fuck are you
with
going on Memorial Day?
a 2-day
Maybe
event,
500.
true. But
Forgot about that.
you know, with a 2-day show that you're trying to put on, that they're not technically linked, so you could just go to one. But I feel like if you're making the trip for one,
And truthfully,
why don't you
like,
go to both? The money's the same.
if you are good at Linda's, you're gonna be good at Lanco. Like, it's gonna be harder to be good at Lanco and good at Linda's. Like, if you're good at Linda's, you're gonna go be competitive at Lanco.
I got Ross Perchak to take both of them.
Fuck Ross. He sucks at Lanco.
He hates Lanco.
Yeah.
But
Sorry,
yeah,
Nick.
yeah. I mean, are you running your own race?
I am going to run my own race.
It's like putting his own gun at his own gun raffle.
Now wait. I did
give it up when
I'm
he
not
wins
giving
it.
the money back if I win this one. But yes, I'm promoting it, so to speak, in the sense of you know, this is what we want to do to represent in his honor, but it is very much strictly donations from sponsors and our family and everything to put this on. That it's not something that the tracks are going to be in control of everything. All the officials, everything is going to be standard at both places. I'm just pretty much the guy that wanted to hold the race, have it, donate the money that's needed extra to put it on, and I do plan to enter the event.
Cool. I mean, it's with them doing everything, you're just kind of putting everything that you gain to them and the format you want to do, and let them run their. I mean, it's
a
lot less stress that way, and it doesn't give you the feeling that you can or can't run, your own deal.
Yeah.
Because essentially you don't really have to be available for anything. Like, they're using their rules, their format, all their whatever the whole time, so you don't have to be there for anything.
You'll still get yelled at for everything you do.
Probably, but that's okay. Hopefully nothing goes wrong.
Any incentives if someone does win both?
That is in talks. Yes. So we didn't finalize.
So we're looking
all
for a
of our.
sponsor.
Well, always.
RTB fuel pump, rebuild kits.
Lots of sponsors
Kenny
would
Groff.
help
at you.
this thing drastically. Our goal is to put it on yearly. So there's some things in the works. Maybe a golf tournament, in fall time, and I think we're going to do maybe a shrimp feed in the winter time to try to raise the money to keep this thing going, because it does take a lot to do it. And I think this first year, a lot of the people are definitely jumping up to help and be able to make this first one happen. But to move on from there, we got to do some things to raise the money to be able to keep it going every year. But with this first one, obviously there's a lot to go into it. Holding races, there's a lot, and I even have less responsibility. I just gotta find the money and figure out what awards we want to pay out. But yes, winning both shows, I kind of want to give a little bonus too if I can. Now they'll win enough, but
that's a big thing, though.
Either way, that would be huge. So. That's something I want to do. I mean, the lap money we'll be looking for. Right now, I'm in talks with somebody that wants to do something with maybe buying everybody's entry into Lanco's race, but I want to make sure that both races are the same.
Yeah.
That not one track's benefiting more than the other. And I think what I'm going to have a talk with is my goal is to anybody who runs Linda's that is a non-qualified car gets the free entry for Lanco. That way, both tracks are tied together with it, but it's still benefiting everybody to come and run the second race if they didn't perform well the first one.
Awesome.
So, that's my goal, to try to make something like that happen. Even the little guys matter in all of motorsports. So, I just don't want to pay all the guys that run up front.
We talking about skill or your height?
We got the both.
This shrimp fest. Do you think we can get some steak and some lobster tail and stuff to go along with
Hey,
it?
I'll take requests.
I'm excited for the shrimps.
I'm real excited.
As long as you cook it all well enough.
It'd be nice to get another sponsor and maybe have them, pay the entry at Linda's.
Yeah.
I mean,
Do you know anybody, Rich?
Free
That would be
entry.
nice of you.
I don't know.
Do you know anybody?
Moneybags over here with the 600
600.
purchase.
Oh, hey, here's a
And,
little thing. When you have the money and you buy 600, you don't have the money anymore. So,
True,
the
very
money
true
bags have the
statement.
life.
I'll be digging down that
I
path.
feel as though that we all probably told you not to, maybe if you had told us, hey, I'm going to get a 600, I probably would have said, you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
I wouldn't have listened.
Oh, well,
Dumbass.
Hey, everyone.
I already told
But
him not to do it.
Everyone has to be stupid in their own right.
What I did
and
do
learn.
is
And
both cars are the same chassis manufacturer.
Well, that is
so
good.
I'll be in the same.
But you're not in a house car, so
No,
I mean,
well, it's in my house.
You're a little.
It's at my house.
Oh, so the rink house car.
They're both at my house. So.
Technically.
Technically, you're open. For,
Yeah.
Okay. I got
But
it.
if anybody has another house car, I'm open for that too. I don't care.
Depends. What?
So,
You get your wife to buy one.
Everybody's got a
well,
She
she
600
car
goes
ride.
to 600.
Oh, does she? Well, that's how you're getting
Anybody
two.
looking
Yeah, that's
for
how
a
there's two.
driver? Because I want to join.
You already have a ride. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You
But she
kick
gets
bricks
in
here.
rides with other
Listen,
friends'
I don't
wives.
want to fucking hear about me driving nobody's shit. I got no money. I got 3 kids. I'm driving whatever I can. I gotta beg, borrow, and steal. Speaking of, we have to talk about that later.
Well, good luck in the Skias racing events this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all
I'm excited
shooting
to be
Yeah, I
there.
think it's a great
I'm ready to
thing.
run them.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if there's any other ideas or things that anybody can even come up with, I'm
Comment
all
below.
ears.
Oh yeah. Comment,
yeah.
share.
Just fucking send your money
That
to
too.
the Venmo listed below. There won't be one, but
$5,000
Call-
sponsor
call
will do
Nick.
it.
That's what my
That'll,
mom said. I'm
that'll
sorry.
help
I
out.
didn't get that.
Oh yeah,
Can you
you're
please-
gonna call Nick right
Get
now.
these entries paid. You imagine a no entry fee race at back-to-back race.
I mean, the
pays
entry
that
fee,
well.
the entry fees are definitely not ridiculous either. That was something else that I kind of, it was important to me. You run these big shows and you pay for the purse, right? So you got to charge big back gates, big car entry fees to be able to uphold that
bags.
purse. And my goal with this, we're looking at $30 pit pass, $30 car entry,
Jesus Christ,
or
that's
$35 car entry. So it's not a drastic $100 or $150 car entry fee or anything like that. I mean, it's very affordable to run
It's
these
reasonable.
races and pays very well. It's probably one of the cheaper races to go and attend and make the most you can out of it. So,
Nice.
you know, I just wanted it to be racer friendly, and still everybody kind of walk away happy, or at least an opportunity to.
Make sure you're there.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. There's
Memorial Day.
no reason.
Weekend.
It's a Saturday, Friday and Saturday. Rain, Lanco has a rain date Sunday.
They do.
So, I mean,
Cool.
you have off Monday. So,
Be there.
drive to fucking Jonestown and then drive to
Newmanstown.
whatever the fuck Lanco is.
Shaperstown, Newmanstown.
Whatever.
Kleinfeldersville. I
Middle
don't know what
Creek.
the fuck it is. Yeah. Go fucking look for some geese at Lanco, at the creek. But yeah, I mean, absolutely. There's zero reason for you not to be there. Watch, I won't be there. Or something, I don't know. But you should definitely be there. Maybe I'll be race director or something. I don't know. But yeah, 747 will be there.
You'll be
Mostly for Saturday, not Friday, because we won't quite have the speed Friday, but we'll be there Saturday.
Need that.
You'll
need
be
that.
attending.
You need that Dupler engine.
Well, we got some speed hopefully in the works. We got
Join Planet Fitness.
I am fat.
M5.
But hopefully,
Wow.
hopefully,
I don't want to sit here.
listen. Dennis and Dawn are spending some coin, and we're getting some speed.
It sounds like somebody's
From
putting
the-
a big bore cylinder on a 77 and a half.
I mean, I heard. What I didn't hear in all of that was there was tech.
Yeah, will there be tech at this race?
All I know is it didn't sound like it was a 270 race. It sounded like it was a 330 race.
Oh my god.
So, I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, you want to make it a run what you're brung?
No, I don't.
No, I don't.
I would prefer if you had a class for 650 plus. That would be cool.
Some of
Because
us.
that's what I'm on the scale.
You know,
I
that
don't
it's
fucking
becoming
hear
an opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, you assholes will put lead on to fucking run it and still
Mhm.
beat my ass in my own
Just
class.
enough lead.
I never had to worry about weight before till now, so now I understand your bitch all these years.
Yeah,
Dude, you're not even close.
yeah. Let me sit in that Viper car once, and Mark's got to push me to the scale at 700. Fuck. But all right, listen. I think that's a wrap for today. We're got some things to get going on here today, so we're gonna wrap it up for the third ever.
Third ever.
Looking for a fourth
Ever.
in the coming days, weeks,
Surprised
months.
we made it this far.
Yeah, I mean,
We got this.
fuck, we got 3. Now we can go to 300.
Next Mandy Pouch.
Probably not.
Probably.
Have you looked at us?
Yeah, none of
This is a radio show, not a video show.
We got faces for radio.
Some of us definitely do. Yeah, so this is the end of 3. We're looking for sponsors. Hey, listen, this Hoosier banner, some of us are sponsored by Hoosier, but it's not a sponsor of the podcast. So, hey, hook us up, talk to us, get us some followers, views, all those likes, subscribe,
Yep.
all that bullshit.
Share.
Yeah, this will be coming out here sooner than later, and we hope to see you for 4. Peace out.
See you guys.